Welcome, everyone. Today, we are going to provide a quick overview of the natural medicine business application and focus on a few key areas where we're seeing incomplete or missing responses or have heard applicant confusion. The more complete your application is, the faster we can process it. This video hopes to help you provide key information to help us process your application. Starting on page 2 of the application, we've compiled a checklist for you to use to make sure you've filled everything out. We will need you to answer every question on the application honestly, and if it does not apply, put NA or not applicable. You will need to read and sign an affirmation and consent, a tax check authorization, and a request to release information to our investigators. We require your application fee at the time you submit your application. If you are conditionally approved, then you will send your compliance fee. Only once we have received the compliance fee will we fully approve your application. We accept fee payments by check, money order, and credit card. If you're mailing in your application, we can only accept a check or money order. If you are mailing your application, you will need to send it to us on single-sided 8.5 by 11-inch paper. We must receive your completed application, including the application fee, before we will begin processing it. So on to the application itself, starting on page 4. We will need to know what type of license you're applying for. Select the business type and fill in the information out with the business information. Here at physical address, we need the address of the natural medicine business, not the applicant's personal address. If your mailing address will be different than the business address, please put that in the next set of boxes. Also, you must provide the main point of contact for the business at the bottom of page 4. On to page 5, please list where the business is incorporated, the date of incorporation, and what jurisdictions the business is authorized to conduct business. This means the information you turned in with the Secretary of State. Next, you'll fill in the ownership structure of the business. Include all individuals who have a financial interest in the license. A financial interest could be a revenue sharing agreement, a promise to pay profits or proceeds from the business, a membership interest in the business, or another ownership interest like a share of a stock. We have provided 2 pages where you can list ownership interests in the business. However, if you only have one or a few owners and don't need both pages, please mark open boxes with NA or not applicable. Next, on page 8, list any other person who has any other interest in the natural medicine business, which could be a landlord, a loan, agreements regarding intellectual property, or management agreements with the natural medicine business. On page 9, answer yes or no to all of the questions. For question 7, you should have provided that information in your owner application, so you can refer back to that information to answer it. If you answer yes to question 7, please provide details on separate sheets of paper for each felony offense that you were arrested and charged for, including official documentation from the court where you appeared. The document should show the final outcome of your case if it was a felony, and it will include whether you were found guilty or not guilty and what penalty or deferred judgment you received. Pages 9 and 10 include the list of documents every applicant must submit with your application. This includes an organizational chart reflecting all of the proposed owners. If any owner who has more than 51% interest in the business is of Indigenous background, we will need 3 references with their name, phone number, and email address to verify any tribal affiliation. This will qualify the application for priority review. We also need a certificate of good standing from the jurisdiction where the business was formed, organizational documents, including the identity and physical address of the registered agent in Colorado, an ESG plan and any accompanying documentation, proof of possession of the licensed property, and facility diagrams, which include documentation demonstrating compliance with local jurisdiction zoning laws, interior layout of the licensed premises, including common areas, hallways, bathrooms, restricted areas, and administration areas, a security and surveillance diagram, a copy of any contracts, agreements, equipment leases, financing agreements, or securities, And if you are applying for a healing center, we will need a map of the physical location and a map indicating that the location is at least 1,000 feet from a child care center, preschool, elementary, middle, junior, or high school. This can be done on Google Maps and saved as a PDF to submit to us. And finally, we will need any documentation relating to any sanctions, penalties, assessments, or cease and desist orders from the Natural Medicine Division. And if you are applying for a healing center, you must submit documentation demonstrating you will have at least one owner who is a facilitator or who will be a licensed facilitator, or that you will be contracting or employing a licensed facilitator. At the bottom of this page, you will find a place to sign and affirm that the application is complete and accurate. This document is for you to attest that your business will comply with local zoning ordinances and provides ways for you to confirm that information with the division. Next, closely review and sign the last 5 pages of the application, which include documents necessary for the division to process your application. Each page must be completely filled out and signed where indicated. First, this document is confirming that you provided truthful and accurate information to the division, and that you understand that later discovery of an omission or misrepresentation could be grounds for disciplinary action against the license. This document is also confirming that you've checked and comply with your local zoning regulations about natural medicine business locations and any other ordinances that may apply in your locality. And finally, this document confirms that no owner who is applying for this license has a financial interest in more than 5 natural medicine business licenses. The following page is an authorization for the division to do a tax check, and the next page is where you will sign for that authorization. And finally, the last page is an authorization form for the division to receive information in order to do our due diligence and investigate the information provided on your application. And the final page is where you will sign for that. That covers the natural medicine business application. If you have any questions, you can reach out to the division via email.